My name is Sarah Jahangri, and this session is Explore Real Challenges and Develop Possible Solutions through STEM Connect with Discovery Education. I'm the Director of Statewide and Strategic Partnerships with Discovery Education and support LAUSD throughout the year. So we're going to be spending a short time together this afternoon, but I want you to know that you can reach out to me any time of year for support. I'm always happy to set up a one-on-one Zoom to meet with your team. However, I can best support you in utilizing Discovery Education. That is my role, and I'm happy to do so. This is my email, sjahangri@discoveryed.com. I'm going to be sharing some links to a resource guide that will give you all of this information, but I just really want you to feel welcome to reach out to me at any time. So during our session today, we're really going to focus in on one of the curriculum packs that's in Discovery Education through our partnership with LAUSD. And it's called STEM Connect, which is going to give problem-based learning, full units of study that are aligned to the UN sustainability goals and definitely help build on students' curiosity, helping them with critical thinking and lots of other things. So I'll be going through that and how those are aligned here in just a few minutes. So we're really going to learn how to navigate STEM Connect today and learn how to explore those ready-to-use lessons and hands-on activities to enhance your core curriculum and cultivate the design thinking so that we're preparing our students for college and career and really supporting them for tomorrow so that they're successful. So really excited to share these resources with you. But before we even dive in, I want to make sure that everybody knows how to access Discovery Education. So again, every educator, every student has access to Discovery Education through Schoology and now through Clever as well. So there's a few ways that you can log into Discovery Education. The two that I just want to quickly show you is through Clever. You can go to your dropdown in your Schoology dropdown underneath the waffle, and you'll see the Clever portal. You can go in there to your district page and then select the Discovery Education icon. Your students will have that icon as well on their Clever homepage, and they can utilize that as well. And then the easiest way, which I would suggest, is just going to your Discovery Education homepage, go to your waffle, and in the dropdown now, you'll see Discovery Education there as an educator, and your students will see it there as well, and they will also see it on the left-hand side of your course. So you'll be able to access Discovery Education through that pathway as well. The first time you log in, it's going to ask you a few questions. What subjects do you teach, what grade levels, grade spans, your interests. It'll only ask you that one time. It's completing your profile and some of the recommendations that we'll share with you within the platform. But after that, you should see your Discovery Education homepage, which we'll go to here in just a few minutes. So if you're having any trouble with logging in or accessing Discovery Education, please feel free to email me, put it in the chat. I can stay on after and answer any questions, but it should be as easy as going into your Schoology homepage again, go to the drop down and click on Discovery Education to take you right into the platform in your homepage. Any questions about accessing Discovery Education? Feel free to come off mute or putting things in the chat. Either way will work. All right. Well, we're going to dive in and talk about STEM Connect. So again, this is one curriculum pack that you have available within Discovery Education. And it's really was created to inspire students to solve real world problems and challenges. So you're going to see that connection when we go into these fully developed units of study that are easy to apply in your classroom next week, really easy to integrate. You're going to see opportunities for your students to come up with multiple solutions. These are aligned to the engineering design process. So there's not one right answer, which is so important that our kids see that there's multiple ways to solve a problem. So you'll see that in the lessons. They're definitely going to encourage critical thinking and collaboration amongst your students and having those constructive conversations in your classrooms and having them brainstorm and work through problems together, which is really important in developing those skill sets with our students. And provide opportunities to develop and apply those solutions. So when they come up, they're going to, as they go through their design process, they're going to develop an actual prototype and then be able to talk about those with their class and what their solution is, and share those out. And then you'll see there at the end that they'll have the opportunity, if you wish, for them to present and communicate what their ideas, processes, and solutions are, which are all very important to help our students develop those skill sets around solving problems. You'll also see that there's some really exciting things within these lessons. First of all, they're all aligned to NGSS standards. So they are aligned to your core standards that you're working on in your curriculum. There are also is a career connection in every one of the units. So there'll be an actual recording with a person who works in that field currently, directly tied to the topic or the real world challenge that the students are working on. You'll see the real world application and the interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary inquiry as well throughout, as well as these 4 C's that I've reviewed on the last slide of collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and communication. In addition to that, these units are aligned to the Grand Engineering Challenges, as well as the UN Sustainable Development Goals. When we go in live to site, I'll show you where you can see those goals, as well as what the Grand Engineering Challenges are. So it's really important that we're aligned to what's happening in the real world. And Discovery Education chose 8 areas that are linked to those UN Sustainable Development Goals to focus on. So in every grade stand, you're going to see a unit focused on communities, one focused on energy, one focused on water, exploration, discovery, food, learning, and digital citizenship and health. So there's a challenge for each one of those areas that we as global citizens want to be working on and finding solutions to make our world a better place, and definitely here for the future. So I'll point out where that information is when we go live to site. I'm going to show just a quick video to give you a quick overview of STEM Connect, do a couple more slides, and we'll go live to site. So just make sure if you can let me know, maybe somebody can put a thumbs up that you can hear the video, that would be great.
STEM Connect is designed to introduce real-world problem solving in easy-to-use lessons with hands-on activities scaffolded to move from local to global challenges. Discovery Education took the UN Sustainable Development Goals and Grand Engineering Challenges and deemed 8 of the most important topics for the world we live in today. STEM Connect requires students to use design thinking and the engineering design process of challenge, design, and solve through assignable lessons. Here, students are introduced to the STEM solution seekers in the first phase of the engineering process. This literacy component connects students to global challenges in a meaningful way through illustrated and real-life characters, creating personal connections that stimulate empathy and enthusiasm for the challenges in each unit. Content connection activities are embedded within challenge, design, and solve lessons. They help to relate STEM to other classes and the world by applying appropriate STEM skills across various disciplines, allowing students to practice foundational skills. As students progress through the lessons, the 4 C skills challenge students to reflect on their learnings and experiences. STEM Connect includes purposeful exposure to STEM careers and contexts, and connects the skills learned in each lesson to real situations in global and local communities. Educators will find multiple supports for planning and designing lessons within STEM Connect, including all resources needed for students and teachers to navigate through grade-level banded units. STEM Connect provides a unique and highly engaging STEM curriculum, with its deliberate emphasis on literacy and the integration of multiple disciplines.
I think that video does a really good, quick snapshot into what you have here. And I wanted to include, I'm going to share the slide deck with you. So if you want to take this back and share it with your peers and just have a video to explain everything, I wanted to make sure you had that as well to be able to review as well to share with your peers. So again, you saw all of these different items highlighted as we went through, that they're aligned to the 4 C's, real world challenges, they're literacy infused. So you'll see that those local connections. And one of my favorite parts of these are that there's hands-on activities that go across subjects, which we know is so important when we're doing STEM and STEAM activities. And then there's also the global solution seekers that will go up through all of the different units, and we'll explain who they are, but they're characters that basically help with that literacy component and bring those challenges to life. So you'll see that as we go through. As you heard, these are aligned to the engineering design process, which is the students go through learning about the challenge, getting research about the challenge. They go into a design phase where they actually design their idea, come up with their ideas, brainstorm their ideas, and then design, and then they build and solve. You coming up with their solution to the problem, and in that process can build a prototype that goes along with that challenge. So, and then the last phase would be to share those out with their peers. Great way to connect to their learning and share with one another. You'll see that there's 32 units available, and there's 8 per grade span. So you'll see here, and you'll see there's one for each of the 8 areas connected to the UN sustainability goals. So these are all the different topics that are.
It was huge.
And so that's a little bit, just a quick introduction. So we're going to go live to site. Just quickly, any questions so far? If you've just joined, to log into Discovery Education, I just want to remind you, I'm going to stop share just for some technology things. I've got to stop share as I change my screen. So hold on one second, and I'm going to come over to my new screen and then share that screen. Okay. And make sure that I'm in the right place. Okay, here we go. So now you should see my Discovery Education homepage. So again, to get into your homepage, you can go to Schoology, go to your drop down underneath the waffle, click on Discovery Education. You'll answer a few questions if this is your first time in, and then you should see this homepage. If you have any issues with that, we're going to have some hands-on time in a few minutes, and I'll walk during that time, troubleshoot anybody who's having any difficulty getting in. So when you come into your homepage, it's always set up the same way. A couple things I want to just quickly show you. The Discovery Earth up here at the top is always going to bring you back to this homepage. You're able to come in and search for content for any subject area, even though we're focusing in on this particular curriculum pack. You have resources for all subject areas to support all core content areas and support teaching and learning in your classroom. So you're able to come and find more than just what I'm showing you today. And I've actually put a resource guide together for you guys so that some of our favorite STEM, STEAM channels I'll share with you that we're not covering today, so that you have access to some really great resources right off the bat. And then you'll see at the top, you have a navigation bar here. And then you're going to see some different categories. Now, I have my curriculum packs here up at the top, and that's where STEM Connect lives. So if it's not at the top, your curriculum packs, let me show you how you can bring those to the top. You can come up here right above where it says Educator Supports, and it says Edit Home Layout. Go ahead and click on that, and you can drag and drop these different area sections on your homepage, and you can bring the curriculum packs to the top. I also like to have my channels at the top because those are things that I can add to my homepage, and the top news stories. Those are 3 areas that I'm looking at all the time. But for today, if you want to move your curriculum packs up to the top, feel free to do that. And then underneath, once you've got those curriculum packs and you've located it on your homepage, you're going to see you have a variety of different resources to utilize and support instruction in your classroom. STEM Connect is the teal colored tile. And I'm going to go ahead and click that, and that's going to take me right into those units of study. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And a couple things I'm going to point out right away. When you come into STEM Connect for the first time, the first thing you're going to want to do is turn on the teacher view. And every time, make sure you have the teacher view on. It's on the right-hand side in the bottom hand of the top picture. So you'll see teacher view. It's turned off right now for me. I'm going to click that and it's going to turn that on. So now that's going to give me accessibility to all of the teacher resources, like the lesson plans, any kind of materials I might need, etc. The second thing that you're going to want to do is select your grade span. So K1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So you would select the one. I'm on 2, 3 right now if you want to follow along with me. But I just want you to know that that's where you switch out. And then up here at the top, it says STEM Connect resources. This is where you're going to find some of the resources aligned that we use to align these lessons to and develop them. So in that drop down, you're going to find a couple of things. The first thing you're going to find is the standards. So when you click on the standards document, it's going to actually open it up to this page, and then you're going to come to California. Here, it's going to download the document for you. You'll see here what the standards are for which grade span, and then you'll see California standards, and then you'll see the unit titles here, and there'll be an X mark to the ones that are covered in those particular standards. And then you can switch your grade spans here at the bottom on that Excel document. So easy way to show those standards and what is being worked on in all the core curricular areas when they're doing these units of study. And of course, they're cross-curricular because this is problem-based learning. And we're showing how all of the core curriculums work together to support that design thinking. All right, so other things in the download that you're going to find here is the grand challenges. So there's a document that will open up. It'll go over the grand challenges and what that is. It's a really great doc. Also, there's some literacy guides here that show the integration of literacy throughout the units. You're going to see your interdisciplinary unit alignment. That's going to show you all of the units available, the 32. And then the UN Sustainable Development Goals, it'll mention the 32 that are there, and then, the 18, and then what we pulled from. So all of those documents are downloadable, again, underneath this dropdown at the top of the page. And the only way to make those accessible, you see if I turn this to student view, that goes away. So turning on the teacher view is going to be really helpful there, okay? Now, below that, you're going to see your 8 units for that grade span. So I'm in grades 2, 3, and here are my units, and you'll see the different areas that are covered that are aligned to those sustainability goals. So communities, energy, water, and each grade span has a unit for each one of these areas. So you'll see that for all of them. I'm going to go ahead and dive into one. I'm going to go into the communities one to get to the other side and click go. And when you click go, it's going to open up the full breadth of the unit. So for that particular unit of study, you'll have the teacher view on again. And so the first thing you're going to see at the top is you're going to have activities materials lists. You're going to have the model lesson. You're going to have this any student handouts, because there's little mini activities throughout to help build their knowledge around that problem, and then your teacher handouts as well. Now, the materials lists are things that you probably have already in your classroom. We were really conscious about what types of materials, things you can buy at the dollar store, things like that, that are easy to utilize, because we understand you don't have a kit for this. So just know that that activity materials list will be there to show you exactly what your students will need. I want to show you the model lesson. So the model lesson, I'm gonna have to stop and share my screen again, but I'm gonna download that. So this is the teacher guide. Okay, so this is where you're gonna see exactly. And what's beautiful is if you've not done any type of problem-based learning or engineering designing kind of lessons in your class, this is going to walk you through that whole process, which is really nice. It's going to give you your objectives, a synopsis of what going to be happening, the connections that are in this one. So you'll see math and literacy connections within this and the academic vocabulary. You'll see the STEM careers on that first page. As you scroll down, you'll see this is a 6-part lesson, and then it gives the suggested time for each of those challenges. So for the research phase for the challenge and introducing the challenge, you'll see is 3 lessons in this one. And it'll explain, just give you a header of what they'll be doing. The design phase is 2 lessons and then 1 solve. So you'll see that. Now, if this is the first time you're doing this with the kids, these suggested times might be longer because they're going through this process, but as they go through these types of studies, the more comfortable they're going to get with that creativity and that critical thinking, which will be really, really important. You'll also see the alignment to the Grand Challenge and the Sustainable Development Goal at the top and how it's connected, so that we're taking that mystery out of that. And then as you go through, you'll see that it will walk you through each part of the lesson and how to guide your students through the different sections. You'll have the media hyperlinked here that goes along with each section and an approximate time for each. So this is basically like your TE that goes along with that, and also where the 4 C's at the bottom, if there's critical thinking or collaboration happening in this section, you'll see that pointed out and how. So all of that's built in to your teacher guide. So all of that will be found in that homepage of the lesson. Now below that, you're going to see that you have 6, basically they look like a PowerPoint, but they're built in something called Studio for Us. And these are student facing as well. They're for you and your students. You're going to be able to go into the lesson. You can assign this to them or they'll find it in their login. I'll show you that in just a second. But they're able to come in and this is going to they go right along with each of those lessons, and you'll see they're just scrollable slides that are going to walk them through. So every lesson is going to start out in the challenge with the solution seekers. When they get into middle school, they change to actual images. They're not caricatures anymore. You can print these for your students if you want them to go through and do their reading strategies. But we use that literacy to open up the story, what the problem is, to explain that to the kids and why this is an important problem that we're trying to solve. So they'll go through those components, and then each one of these slide decks is going to really walk your students and you through the process. So they'll also do research, like in any kind of vocabulary development. There's a quick video about what is community, what does that mean, and why is this important? So and then the hands-on activities will be built throughout as well. One thing that's nice is if you want your students to do this as part of a center time where they're doing their research development and learning about the problem, all of these have immersive reader built right in. So when you open up the immersive reader, it's going to open up that text. It'll read it to your students.
Hands-on activity.
It will also, they can change the speed, female to male. And then up here, there's some other really great tools. They can lower the text size, increase it, increase their spacing. So lots of accessibility here. But for your English learners, this is very powerful as well because these are translatable into 70 languages. So if you have a student who speaks Arabic and he's a newcomer and you want them to be able to participate and understand what's going on, they can translate it to Arabic by one word or the whole document and hear that played to them.
النشاط العملي.
And they can switch between Arabic and the English language here at the top. So each one of these lessons will have that for them. So I'm going to go back just for time's sake. This goes so quick. You'll see there's lessons, 3 lessons for challenges, 2 for design, 1 to solve, and it will take them through exactly what you saw in that model lesson bit by bit. Now, if you wanted to assign this to your student, this action, every time you see 3 dots, that's your action button. You'll come here, click assign. You can grab a share link too. So if you're using Schoology assignments, you can grab the link and put it in there, or you can assign it to your students directly, give them directions about what you want them to do. Maybe it's you want them to read pages 1 through 3. You can give them those directions here, give them the date they want to see this. It can be in real time or in the future. And then when it's due, so maybe you're going to talk about this next Tuesday, and then you're able to select your class that this is going to. And you can even if maybe you have a small group working on this, you can select specific students. Click assign and okay, and now it will go to that student. So that's how you get the lessons to them. It really is following the lesson plan. It's going to take you through that process and have your students be successful in going through this process and coming up with really creative answers. As you scroll down through the page, you're going to see the related STEM content connections. These are all your hands-on activities, so you can see those pulled out, as well as the video for the STEM career. These are already integrated into these slideshows, but we like to pull that out for you so that you can see that as well. The one more thing, I know we're right at the end of time. I want to show with you really quickly what this looks like from the student side and where they're going to find that. So let me go ahead and share my screen and show you what it looks like for your students. So when they come in, they're going to come to, this is what it's going to look. So again, they would go to Schoology, either in your course on the left-hand side, select Discovery Education, or on the drop-down, it's going to take them to their homepage. So since I've assigned this to my students, there's that lesson 1. It's going to show up in their assignments tab. So it'll be right there. They're going to be able to open that, see your directions, and then be ready to go to follow along with their slideshow. So that will be there for them. Also, I want to let you know that at the bottom of their homepage, there's also the STEM Connect. They get the whole series from the student view. They can go there. They can filter through which grade level they're in and go to the lesson as well and go through. You don't have to assign it to them. They can do it that way as well and get access. So just to let you know that. So that's just a quick introduction to STEM Connect, how these are aligned, what they are, how to find them. I want to open it up quickly for questions. And in the chat, I'm going to actually to show you really, or share with you some links. I'm sharing with you, the first one is the presentation slide so that you have everything. There's a resource guide there in our March newsletter, as well as how Discovery Education works with Schoology and my contact information. I wanted to give you a few minutes to grab that. I'm going to go back to my presentation deck really quick and just share a few more things with you. But if you have any questions, please come off mute. I did take screenshots of everything that I've shared with you so that you have, I know this was pretty fast, so that you, again, have those, just a quick explanation of what you have, like Immersive Reader, the different lessons, etc. And then at the end, this is my action item for you to go in, explore, log into Discovery Education, explore the STEM Connect lessons, and come up with a unit that you would love to share with your class and maybe with a peer and do it as a team together. But then I want you to know that we are always here. We don't have to do check-in. I'm here to help support you all the way, but you also have an educator support tab at the top that will walk you through everything I've just shared. And we're always sharing through our March newsletter. So if you ever have questions about anything, I'm here to help support. Let me know how I can best do that. But thank you for joining us for our mini lesson today on STEM Connect. And I hope you and your students love these lessons as much as we do.